Hello, and hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the first interview here on the Esports Talk channel, and I hope you guys all enjoy. If you guys have anyone, or if you guys are someone who wants to reach out for an interview on a specific subject out there in the esports realm, I would love to have you guys on, whether it's a voice interview, an actual interview as well. This is our first interview, though, on the Red Reserve case. If you guys have not seen our original video on this, the exposing of Red Reserve and the terrible things the organization has done to several players and several teams, as well as content creators, I will link our first video down below for all of you. Here's an interview, though, with one of their former content creators, and kind of touches on his story, as well as, of course, the troubles inside Red Reserve with transparency, so on and so forth. As always, I hope you guys all enjoy it. And again, if any Red Reserve members out there want to reach out for a further interview, I would love to have you guys on. But as always, I hope you guys all enjoy, and let's get into it. And really, like, the general gist would probably just be have you say your story, ask you a couple questions, and hopefully get more details out about it.
All right, so I was watching this person on YouTube. We're gonna go like way back, like from like maybe a few years ago. I was watching this person named Blaziken. He's now in FaZe, and is now named FaZe Blaze. But he was an Obey Alliance at the time, and out of nowhere, everyone on Twitter started tweeting out Red. Like, what is this brand new team coming out? Like, what is this? Because everyone was super confused about it. Because Rain started tweeting it out. You know, FaZe was tweeting it out. It was like in their tag for their new montage. And then Blaziken joined Red, and I've been watching Red ever since the beginning. And it started out as this trick shotting, sniping team for the longest time. A lot of people started joining in. It started just blowing the hell up, just out of nowhere. And I remember, I think like the biggest like inspiration to me actually wanted to even join Red at the time was whenever I saw Kiwis, who is now an Obey and has over 1 million subs on YouTube now. Congrats to that, man. You know, I was like, I want to be that. I want to be able to be a part of this team and see what I can make out of this. And then 2 years down the line, you know, I've been struggling on YouTube. I had like 100-something subs on YouTube at the time. I go for the Red RC with 172 subs, and then Formula, for some reason, liked my videos and shouted me out, and I blew up that night. I think I got to like 2K in like a few days, and I'm sitting there just making videos as much as I could. And then January 13th of 2018, I get a DM to get in a call and to get ready to make this video with Formula. And at the end of it, it was like this little Q&A based video of me doing a 1v1 with him. And eventually he actually recruited me into Red. So me being a 16-year-old kid at that time and sitting down there, like, had little to know nothing, had no support for the longest time from friends and some family. And you just start getting a huge amount of support from this community, was like intoxicating and honestly like really amazing, because you're like, wow, you just joined the team that you really wanted to join, and on top of that, he invites you to go to the Red House. So I'm sitting there just like shitting my pants, because it's like, this is the dream come true. I've been watching these guys for years, and now I'm about to be the same level as them, and I'm going to be with them and a team member as them. It's not just going to be a fan anymore. I'm still going to be a fan. You know, I'm a huge fan, but like, I'm not just going to be a fan, which is like really, really cool to me. And so after we had that call, I actually started figuring out my flights and everything, getting all the details ready. And a couple weeks go by, I get my flights booked to go to the Red House in March of 2018. And I'm just sitting there super excited.
Real quick,
you go. Yeah.
Were you paying for those flights, or did they pay for them?
Okay, so they Formula paid for some of it, but I don't think he understood that if you're under the age of 18, there is a fee.
Oh, they couldn't pay for your flight?
They didn't. They did pay for the flight. They did pay for the flight. Not for there's like a whole other fee that they didn't really know about, that we didn't know about, that we had to pay. We had to pay last minute, but it's nothing against them. That was something they had no idea about. If you're under the age of 18, there's like insurance that they have to have, and there's a fee added onto your flight back and forth. It's like,
interesting.
It was the most annoying thing, but it was like, whatever, it's worth it. It's fine. So we paid for that. And we got those done probably a few days after I got the recruitment. And then almost a month later, February 19th, I texted Formula to like make sure he know that I had everything booked. Everything was fine. Everything was going to be okay for March 16th. And he says, hey, when you have the chance, can we get in a call? And I'm like, as soon as I heard that, it was so out of place. It's like, shit. Like, this seems so wrong. I know something's going wrong with this, and I have a feeling that I'm just not going to be in the team anymore. And I get home, and he's like, yo, I'm sorry, but because of management, they want to focus more on esports and everything like that. You are sadly going to have to be released from the team. But they still wanted me to come to the Red House. I still got that opportunity to go to the house, which I'm very grateful for. Had an amazing opportunity to go there. But it was like, that sucked ass. And you know, I immediately I didn't even care that like they kicked me. It was like, you know, this is part of their job, and formally like stressed the entire time that this is not something he wanted to do. Like, this is something that he is super upset about, and was super just like, this is so fucked up that someone that gets an opportunity like this and it just gets taken away like out of nowhere. It was super messed up. And that was whenever they were going through their like dwindling process of like lowering their roster, like getting rid of people. They kicked so many people in 1 month. And I was one of those people, and I hadn't even been announced yet. So that sucked, you know, because you had 3 people that got in and got the chance to go to the house, and I was the only one because of where I got picked up, because of the time that I got picked up. It was such a bad time for me to get picked up that I was released at that time, which sucked. But I didn't let that get in my head, and I was like, you know what? Screw that. I'm gonna keep working for the team. I don't care. I'm gonna keep trying to get into the team as much as I can. So I kept working at it, kept grinding for the team. And
I'm sorry to interrupt one more time. Did you end up going to the house then?
I actually did. I ended up going to the house.
Was it awkward vibes at all? You know, being around the guys that had to kick you?
I mean, when we got there the first night, you know, you get there and it's like that surreal moment, like, holy shit, these are the guys you've been watching for so long. So you get that little geek out moment for a second. But then after that, we got in the car and we were actually on our way to go get Wawa, which is like this. I don't know if you know what Wawa is.
I've heard of it.
It's like a gas
station.
station.
Is it Wawa Burger? Okay, never mind.
It's like this gas station with actually like really, really good food inside. And it was like really cool to go there. But on the way there, Nix, who was sitting next to me, apologized. And in everyone's mood in the car was immediate like frustration, because they were like, yeah, you are so good, and like, we wanted you in this team, like, this is not our doing, like, we would not even have you here if we didn't want you in the team. Like, they thought it was like a super messed up thing, and they were super upset about that. But to be real though with you, I mean, there was a few times where there were some awkward moments with me, because I kind of had an idea that 2 of the members were already going to be leaving the house when I was there, which was kind of like alarming to me. You know, I overheard Random tell Nick that he think in 45 days he'll be able to move into his new house. And then Gandhi practically just told me that he's moving into an apartment with Penny, and him and Penny were just going to be moving in together. And I was like, holy shit, this is sounding really weird that this is all happening. I was super confused by it. And then I was also notified that Raves was going to be coming to the house after I left, like maybe a few days after I left. Raves would be there. And I'm saying, like, this, it just seems very
so you
awkward.
Had some suspicions going into it.
I had some suspicions after I saw all that, but anything other than those, like, it was an amazing time,
yeah. And then after that, you said you kept on grinding. You wanted to still work for the team, or at least try and
that's what I was going for. I was just grinding my ass off. I think from ever since March 16th, like maybe a few weeks after that, Random left, and then a few weeks after that, I believe Gandhi announced that he was leaving as well. And it's just like this weird roller coaster of like so many things happening at one time. And a lot of the times that this stuff was announced, I was streaming. And I got to see all this shit that I was like working for kind of unfold, you know, because it's like once you start seeing like the Red House kind of leave, there's a problem. Like, there's got to be something wrong that I don't even know about. And I just was like super confused at that moment. So I just kept working at it. I didn't let that stuff cloud my mind. And then around sometime in May, I got a notification on my phone. My phone was blowing up. And I looked at it, and it was the Red Reserve rebrand. And I was like, something's wrong. Like, I didn't know what it was. I just got this sick feeling in my stomach when I saw the rebrand. Because it's like, you know what, maybe like there's a reason why this is happening. You know, maybe like them moving into this is a good thing So I tried to stay positive with it. And then a few days after that, then you see Kiwis, Nick, and Formula all post a video saying that they left. And at that moment, I'm sitting there like this, well, holy shit, you know, I have this whole story of me becoming this little nobody that no one knew about, to having somewhat of a decent name in the community, and then going to the house, but no one even knows that I joined the team, like, at all. So I asked Formula if I was able to bring up the story, because everyone was leaving the team. A lot of people that were already in the team along with the Red House were just leaving after them. And it looked like the end of the team, the end of the content side at least. And they were like, yeah, make that video. That video ended up blowing up, getting like 45,000 views on it or something like that. It was a huge video on my channel at the time. And, you know, that was great. And I got a ton of support from that video about the whole entire story. And then exactly probably like 2 days after that, I don't know if you know who Alex Gonzalez is.
I do not.
He's like, I think he was like the CMO or something like that. I don't remember his like actual like thing in the team, but he came to me and basically apologized about that whole entire thing. And he just talked to me about would there ever be a chance, like if I was ever asked to join the team, would I join? Kind of a thing. It was just kind of like a weird thing, because it was like he was asking if I'd be down to join the team, but it didn't feel like I was being asked to join the team. It just felt like very weird that at that moment I'm now being asked. But I mean, all in the end, I was like, you know what, I don't know what's going on. And then me and Crypt had a talk, and when me and him had the talk, it was like, so would you be down to be a part of the team? And I was like, yes, I'm down. And I told 2 of my best friends that I was going to be joining Red again. And for some reason, I don't know what happened, that kind of fell through. Like that part fell through, and I was kind of like losing hope with the team. And I was like, I don't even know what's going to happen anymore with me. And then a few months later, I get a call from Crypt, and he was like, yo, let's make this video together. And then I got surprise recruited to Red. And it was like in a span of like 6 months, I almost joined Red twice before I actually joined.
Yeah, because I remember looking back through your videos, and it first was kicked, then joined, then left.
Yep.
All within a fairly short period of time.
It was definitely, it's an odd thing to look at. And I remember like being super excited, of course, because it's like I finally get my opportunity to join Red. But I don't think a lot of people knew that there's so much hate when I joined. There was so much hate when I joined the team. I mean, it wasn't hate towards me. It was just they were still getting shit from the Red House leaving and making their videos. Now, before I ever got asked to join the team or anything like that, there were many calls where I was being told different stories on who sold how much of the team, who had this much authority over everything, like how much did Formula give away. It was like I was super confused, because you're this kid being told like a percentage of how much the team was giving away, and I don't even know anything about that. And I'm super confused. And you know, I had like a weird feeling about maybe not joining or not. I was advised from Kiwis and Formula to not join, because they had like somewhat of an idea that I might be asked to join the team again. And you know, I didn't like seeing the team kind of go to shit, like at all. And I kind of wanted to see what we could do with the team. And everyone that was in the team before me, before I even joined again, they were already hard at work on trying to rebuild the fan base. And you could start seeing it, like the likes and the dislike ratio started changing like substantially. And it looked like Red was getting some of their fan base back, or some of the hate just gone, which is great. And I was super excited about that. Now, the months leading into me actually being in the team, you know, it was amazing. You know, every video on the team channel was doing pretty well. We started getting subs back. We weren't losing subs anymore. We were getting our views back, and it was really great. And I remember that around that same time, Alex Gonzalez actually asked me like what I would think about there being another Red House. And I was like, I mean, I think it would be amazing if we got another red house, but you'd have to have the right people in it. You'd have to be able to make this other style of content, and getting people in and out of that house with constant content. We just have to make sure that happens. And he gave me an idea of who was going to be in the house, which was Ray. I think it was, I don't really remember who was all going to be there, but I know for a fact that if you weren't living in the house, you'd be like there every once in a while, like just flown out to the house, which I thought was really
so you
cool.
were you offered a spot in the second house?
It was like a weird thing. I wasn't really offered like a permanent stay or anything like that. I was offered to go to the house, just like to be there for a little bit.
And this is the eventual house that most of the COD guys were in, right?
Not the esports guys. There was gonna be a whole different house, I believe.
Okay, so a whole different content creation house.
It was just like it was an idea at the time. It wasn't even like an actual thing, and they were just giving me a substantial idea who was gonna be in the house. I thought it was a great idea, and I'm still a kid. I was still a 16-year-old. I was actually 17. I'm 17 now. And I was 17 when this conversation was being happening. But I was like, I'm not gonna be out of high school by the time this house is even made. So it's like, I'm not even thinking about me even getting a spot in the house, like at all. I would work for a spot in the house, and I made sure that they knew, because I want to make this a job, but I wanted them to know that it's like, no matter if I don't have a spot in the house or not, I was going to work for that. And a few months later down the line, we don't hear much about the house again. Then it gets brought up out of nowhere, probably around in January, I believe. We have like this huge meeting with a bunch of Red members, and like that's just brought up. And it wasn't even like still a set in stone thing, but there was a DM saying like, "Yo, we want to see if we could get a house by early this year with this amount of members in it, and like having people switch in and out of the house because Mist can't stay in the country for that long." And we're like, "Wow, this is actually happening." Like I don't know what was going on with the team. You know, they weren't very transparent about the money issues at all.
Yeah.
Like we did not know about the money issues. So in our minds, and well, in my mind, at least, I can't speak for everyone else, but whenever you're being told that, you know, that Victrix might be able to give us like a 50% off, not 50%, I don't think it was 50% off code, but it was a discount. It was a discount for the headsets that were really good. Every content creator might get one. And then after that, they also brought up the house, and then our esports is actually doing okay. And we're sitting there like this. I'm sitting there at least thinking that we're doing all right. We're not like having any issues at the moment, because they weren't saying that we had any issues at all. So I mean, I was just not worried about a thing. And then I believe like probably a few months later, back to like the transparent thing, I wasn't really informed that much about any money issues. I mean, I thought we were okay, and out of nowhere, we were also told that we had an investment run that really went really well. And
they told you that?
They said that. I remember specifically them saying that. I was like, wow, holy shit, an investment run went very well, no problem. I might be able to find a DM somewhere in like the chat, but that was like months ago, so I can't like it's far gone. But I mean, like, I thought that was like a really cool thing, that like we're doing all right. I remember telling my mom and dad that, and they were super excited about it because I was a part of it. You know, it's great news. And I mean, after all that stuff happened, I think it was like sometime in February, I come home from school and I take a nap. Right? I go home, I take a nap, and I wake up to my phone being extremely hot. Like, it was super hot to the touch, and that's because my phone was being lit up for about 2 hours because our COD team is gone.
Oh, geez.
And I'm like, holy shit, what did I just wake up to? So I'm like trying to figure out like what the fuck happened. Like, yo, how did this happen? What's going on with the team? And within like the span of like 30 minutes of actually me figuring out what's going on, they get us in a call. They notify us what's going on with the team, and they're like this. And then it's kind of everyone's decision. Like, do we even stay? Like, what do we do? Like, we have nowhere to go. It sounds like we're not gonna have an esports team anymore. They're done. Obviously, that we lost all of our like staff. Like they were gone. They were gone after that. No one's being paid. And I'm just sitting there super, super confused on what to do. And everyone just said, you know what? Fuck it. We're gone. So everyone left that night. And I was just like, you're sitting there 1 second you're in the team having a blast, and then the next, like, you're waking up to the team like practically actually ending, like, completely. And that's messed up because it's like I never really got a chance to enjoy a lot of this stuff that I had in the team, you know, because I joined for like a short few months, and then that happened again. And something that I actually forgot to mention, whenever I rejoined Red this time, Alex Gonzalez almost left, and a bunch of other people almost left. Like, out of nowhere. I was a new kid just joining the team again, and I thought everything was okay, and then people were already saying they might leave as soon as I joined because there was something going on in the team that I didn't know about. And it's just like there's a lot of transparency issues with the money stuff, and we weren't being told everything. And I actually have no hate towards a few of the management. I mean, I don't have any problems with anyone. I don't like having problems with people, but like I can name like Alex Gonzalez. I actually truly like that guy. He's a really great dude. He really tried.
Is there any management that you still stay in touch with?
Alex. I mean, I talk to him every once in a while, but everyone else I kind of lost contact with. I mean, I believe I'm still followed by a bunch of them. I just haven't made the journey to like reach out to them or anything like that. But Alex.
And you're not sure what role Alex played at the end?
I don't know.
Or if
I don't really remember what it was CMO or something like that. I believe it was CMO. I could be wrong on that, but if it was, I think that was it. And I could be completely wrong on that though, but I think it was around CMO or something like that. And I didn't know much about our like social media guys at all. I didn't know all of them. There was a few that were like really great. Then we lost one that was really great. I mean, it was just like so many things I just didn't really know about, like within the team, like at all.
I mean, so hearing all this, first take I take away is it's been like a very rocky ship to be a part of, even not just the past few months, but over the past year or so.
Exactly.
Like almost as if the signs have been there, but you know, a lot of us on the public don't really know these kind of things, so we didn't really know anything was going on until the last few months. But it sounds like you've had signs of this destruction happening over the past much longer period of time. And I think from my perspective as well, as a content creator for Red Reserve, I'm mostly curious, you know, you said people weren't being paid. Was there any sort of contract you guys signed, or was it pretty much just a verbal agreement? Hey, I'm in Red. You get the promotion. You get, you know, potentially flown out to houses, discount codes. Is that the kind of stuff that is what you signed in for?
I mean, there was like, there was never, ever, no one, I don't know of anyone actually being salaried. If anyone in the team was being salaried, I believe it would be Ems, but at the same time, I don't even know if Ems was being salaried.
And that's just for content creation, correct?
Yeah, that's just for content creation.
Okay.
I mean, there were talks about us getting a pretty sweet deal with Victrix for percentage off. You know, that was like really cool. All of us getting our own codes was really great. I mean, that was like super cool. I mean, that eventually evolved into like our own personal links. So if people clicked on our links, people could track how many people were actually using our links to go look at the sites and stuff. And that like was something they would like reimburse us with like merchandise or something like that, which is really cool. But I never signed an agreement or anything like that for any sort of payment. That is completely true. I never signed anything. There was one time where like it wasn't even like really it wasn't even like yo, this is happening. But whenever like things are like sounding like they were doing pretty well, there was a talk of like hopefully in the future people could be salaried. But that was like the only talk that ever happened.
Because the big debate right now is not necessarily towards the content creation because people know so little about it. It's necessarily towards the CSGO guys, the COD guys, especially towards the COD guys and the Counter-Strike guys. They've dropped to their teams, but those two groups, because a lot of rumors about them not being paid or being owed money. And so that was my ultimate curiosity is, you know, if we can ever find out if they signed contracts, because I've never seen a case with so many players not being paid, but no legal action that we know of being taken against Red Reserve was really shocking to me.
And that was like shocking to me too, because when I was watching your video, there was stuff that I had no idea was even happening in it. That's how much that I didn't know. Like there's stuff like I didn't know we got a new CS:GO team. I didn't know that. I didn't know until it blew up in everyone's faces that there was a breach in a contract or something like that. I didn't know anything until then. And I mean, the Rocket League thing, we had a really good Rocket League team. And I don't know what happened to that.
You know, what I take from what you've told me so far, it just seems like an ultimate, again, making an assumption here, but what you told me from, you know, them offering you discount codes, not offering you exactly payment, you know, the only way they can really pay you is through those codes or through merchandise, maybe fly you out every now and again. It kind of resembles, to a certain extent what they offered a lot of their pro teams. It seemed like they offered them some sort of payment to kind of hang on to them as long as possible, especially when it came to the COD guys and the CSGO guys. I mean, they weren't being paid for a few months, but they were still competing and putting the Red Reserve name out there. So it almost sounds like they were trying to just drag out content all around as far as possible until all the players were like, okay, we're done making content and competing for nothing.
Yeah. And I mean, like, the only thing that was like probably a difference with with the content creating side, every single time we were ever talked about like the merchandise kind of thing, was like, it wasn't really like a set down like this is happening. It was like an idea, and hopefully this happens. The only time where I ever felt like I was actually being reimbursed was like, I think his name's Ben. He told me that I did a good job on getting all my links set up. When I'm in a team and I'm told to do something, I get that shit done as fast as I can. So I'm efficient like that. That's who I am. I get stuff done when I'm told. And I got something done the right way, and he liked it, and he was going to send me a shirt or a hoodie and a hat. And unfortunately, like a few days later, that the whole team ended. So I mean, I never got the merchandise. That sucked. I never got merchandise from the team. Like I don't have any merch from my own team, which sucks.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the merch you want anymore nowadays. Walking around with it, but it's an incredible story. Honestly, I'm gonna link your stuff down below. If you have anything to want to say as well, I appreciate you reaching out. About your future. Content creation wise, other teams wise. Is there anyone on your radar that you want to possibly join or have a new goal to grind towards?
I mean, of course there is. I mean, like I'm in a team right now. I'm in Dare at the moment. A beautiful team full of amazing people. They treat me like family, and they've treated me nothing like family from the beginning. Whenever I actually left Red and announced it, I never wanted to join it. I was kind of set on I don't want to join a team right now. If I'm going to join a team, I want to be in a team where I can make it a job, that I'm salaried, and that I'm making sure that I'm being taken care of. And then I had all these little organizations coming to me like, my team, you got to do this, join this as a lead. And I was like, I don't want to be in a team at all. I just don't want to be in one. And then Laxo, who is I think he's a co-owner of Dare, came up to me and he's like, hey, how are you doing? I saw everything that happened with Red that's completely fucked up. And he talked to me and cared about my feelings with the team and how everything I was going with it and how I was feeling with this whole thing, and treated me like I'm a human being. He treated me like I was going through something. And that really drew my attention to him. And he said later on in the night, he's like, if you ever want to talk about joining the squad, we're always down to have you. Just hit me up whenever you want to. And I was like, that's amazing. And then immediately the next day, I talked to him about joining, and then I joined, which is great. But right now, at the moment, I have a few places where I would love to end up in Obey. Obey is an amazing organization. They're killing in esports, and I mean, they have amazing content creators. All of them are blowing up a Fortnite, and I mean, they're gonna have an RC soon or something like that. So maybe I'll go for it and work my ass off for it again. I hope.
Heck yeah.
I mean, and to anyone out there that wants to be a content creator and get involved in a team, let's be honest here, a team that doesn't pay you or anything like that will not benefit you. Teams right now don't always benefit you it gives you some Twitter notifications, gives you Twitter likes every once in a while. But to be completely honest, you should grow your personal brand by yourself to have teams want you. I know there's a lot of people that want to join FaZe, but imagine that you grow yourself to the point where FaZe wants you. Grow your personal brand. That's something I wish I did. Not always being a part of an organization. Random with the night that I left Red told me that you should just focus on your personal brand and have people come to you, which is a great thing. And I feel like that would be honestly the best move for some people out there right now.
All right, well, with that, thank you very much for reaching out, man. I really do appreciate it, and always stay in touch as well, and best of luck to your future. And hopefully, with this, bringing a little bit more light on the situation, and maybe going to rectify some of the other players and their situations as well.
Of course, man, yeah.
I mean, I guess if it's their house, they probably can legally do that, right?
Yeah, I mean,
which sucks, but
I feel like it's just unfair. Go at least.
Well, anyway, man, I got to get out of the recording room. Thank you again. Stay in touch, all right? It was really cool talking to you.
Thank you, dude.
All right, take care, my man.
God bless, brother. Peace.
Hey, see ya. So yeah, that was pretty much the first full interview here on the channel. I really do hope you guys enjoyed. And again, huge thanks to Moose as well for having him on and telling us his story. If you guys one last time have anyone out there that you want me to contact or be in contact with me for future interviews, I would love to have them on. Love to talk about esports. You guys know I love to talk. But as always, I hope you guys all enjoy. My name is Jake. I will see you back here, of course, tomorrow with more esports news. And until then, take care.